This review covers the 70 Ford Torino Cobra. It's a 125 scale kit from Revell, number 14534. Now, the Torino Cobra came standard with a 429 cubic inch, that's a 7-liter V8, available in 3 variants, and it earned a reputation as an underrated muscle car slayer, especially in the rare Super Cobra Jet drag pack version, which dominated NHRA drag racing. About 7,700 of the units were produced at a base price of $3,200. Today, they're going for about $44,000. This kit's been reissued a number of times since it was first out in 2000, and it's really a nicely molded kit. It's really clean. There's no excess flash to speak of, and no real problems with the kit. All the parts fit well. The only issues are sequencing and some decals that could use some tips and assistance. Now, the kit is advertised as a 2-in-1 kit, but the options are basically limited to decal choices and body color that pertain to the different versions that were released on the real car. There's no leftover parts, so it's generally what you call a single-purpose kit. Here's a look at the crisp new box art that Revell has put out, and as you can see, it is a nice sharp blue. This is very close to one of the original colors, but it does not sport the side stripes, which were branding for the Twister version of the car. Here's a look at the parts layout, and you probably can see there's very little flash on the parts. The chrome is nice. It's not too toy-like. The windows are pretty clear. They're not super thin, but they're pretty clear. And the tires are molded pretty cleanly, too. It's, like I said, overall a nice kit. It's got 128 parts, as you see here, molded in white, chrome, clear, and clear red. The decals for the kit are one of the high points of the model. You see the side Cobra stripes there for the Twister version. It also has that big, massive blacked out hood decal and some tire decals to add some Goodyear script to those sidewalls. Now, on the other hand, that's one of the issues with the kit. The decals are both some very large and thin and some very small. And because of that, it makes it a little more difficult to apply those easily or properly. And that's probably one of the main reasons that Revell gave this a number 4 skill rating for the intermediate builder. Now, this kit actually starts out with the body instead of the engine at step 1. And as you can see with the red lines here, we're indicating where the parting line is. It starts at the front fenders, goes up over the A-pillar and around and down the fastback and down the backside there. Also, there's a feature that I think is relegated to the base Torino that needs to be removed, those louvers there just in front of the rear wheel hub. So now we start with the basic engine, and as you can see, the parts are painted either aluminum or Ford blue, so go ahead and get those painted, and when they're dry, start assembling the block. By the way, if you do need any more clarity than what you see here in the video, the instructions for the entire model are at the end of the review for you to take a look at. So here's the rest of the parts available for the engine. You can see there the gloss black accessories, and some of them are aluminum and steel. Now we've got a white filter and some massive satin black exhaust manifolds there. Now here you see the assembled monster 429 Ford engine. This big block was quite a competitor back in the day, and the kit goes together well, including the engine here. So there's really no surprises. So go ahead and assemble that and set it aside to dry. Now we'll take a look at that chassis. As you can see here, there's some script that's molded into the lower back end there on the passenger side next to the wheel well. And if you want some accuracy for that, just scrape that off, sand it smooth. And then we turn to decorating those pieces. You've got a satin black on the chassis, along with some steel exhaust and aluminum mufflers. And there's a steel-colored drive piece up front there, along with you could pick out that aluminum fuel tank as well. Now take a look there at the red pointers. They are indicating a couple of receiving holes that need to be opened up, and that's where you'll mount the exhaust. So you have to open those up and then glue the exhaust pegs into those receiving holes. Assemble the pieces for the rear end suspension. You see the differential there has been painted a dark red, and the other parts are a semi-gloss black. And notice that the axle ends, they've been kept clean for gluing the wheels on later. So here you see the drive shaft is a steel color along with the shocks there, gloss black. And before it gets all set, and as you're setting things up here, go ahead and install that drive shaft so that it fits into both the back of the engine and the differential in back there. And add the shocks in the back end as well. They're a great looking set of wheels and tires here. As you can see, a little blackout and those wheels really set those off. The rear or the inner parts of the wheels there is painted steel. Now these are all going to be used to trap that small round piece inside there, which will enable the wheels to turn when they are glued onto the axle without getting the glue on the rest of it. Now the sidewalls are smooth, so you can put those excellent looking decals on there, and there's some caps there if you want to install those on the hubcaps as well. And so here they are when you're done. These are another highlight for the kit. These are great looking wheels and tires with good looking tread on them. And here you see the front suspension pieces to start with, and as you notice the mechanism there, the kit's wheels are posable, meaning that you can turn them both left and right simultaneously as they'll be tied together. So here's the tie rod and the sway bar that goes in the front suspension, and they've got some intricate little connections. You'll need to carefully remove some paint there so that you get a good gluing surface. And that goes for any chrome parts that you find along the way in the kit too. Now here's a diagram of where exactly those parts are located. And so when you're done, your chassis should look a lot like this one. And it's fairly buildable, just a few small parts to put together, but it's a nice clean chassis, and it'll look good under your vehicle. Here are the parts for the dashboard assembly. Of course, you see the wood tones there that we'll be using in the interior, and the wheels got some inserts of black there, and there's also some decals, nice looking decals for this for the dash, the IP, and the column, and we'll be using some chrome pen there for some of the chrome appointments. Now here are the parts for the seats. You'll go ahead and assemble those and paint them. Now when I was looking at information on the Cobras, I didn't see a white interior available. So I used some of the tan colors to complement the dash there, wood tones, and those are the colors that I chose for this build. So you see the rear seat's been installed, and we're also going to add chrome highlights to the side panels and assemble the center console and get that ready for assembly. So here's the assembled interior. As you can see, it's a nice clean look, and it goes well with some of those decals that are available for the interior, along with the chrome appointments. So it can make for a really nice looking interior for your model. So here you see the body being staged up now. The interior of the body was painted with some flat black. The exterior, of course, and all this after a light coat of primer. The exterior was painted with one-shot brand paint, and I added some chrome trim around the windshield, the drip rails, the side marker lights, the front and rear glass, along with the dome light and the inside rear view mirror. They are now put into place at this point. And the firewall gets added with the rear panel, and this panel has some gaps at the bottom that could probably be fixed with extra time and attention put into fitting. So if you want to get a little bit better look, go ahead and add a little bit of finishing for that. Install the window glass with some white glue or crystal clear, and don't forget the rear view mirror. Now we also are going to put the master cylinder and the wiper motor into place, and we're going to then add the interior. Use some strong glue, check your locating points, and glue that into position. Next, you can add the horns. There's two horns there that go on the driver's side in the interior of the engine bay, along with the washer bottle. Now you're going to use some slow setting glue to generally position the front coils springs into place, and then we're going to install the chassis to the body with some strong glue at the contact points and trap those springs into position. Add the rear wheels into position by putting a little bit of glue on the end of the axle pins so that they're just inserted into the inner hubs, and then squeeze them together and make sure that they're aligned properly. Now we're going to work on the front end by adding the brake plates there. You see those are steel colored with black calipers, and we're going to put that into position and then add the front wheels to the axle pins on front, and similarly as the back end, just make sure you put a little glue on the end of it so that it only glues to the internal rotating portion inside the wheel. So the core support here, along with the radiator hoses and the radiator, are painted flat black, and the instructions also have you put the power steering pump on now, but I had added that earlier during engine assembly. So now it's time to locate the core support and radiator along with the upper and lower hoses there. Also at this step, the instructions show adding the hood hinges, but I found it would be better to leave those off until the hood scoop is fitted so that you get everything to match up. So here are the two-piece ram air hood scoop parts, and of course the air cleaner, a battery, and the accessory parts there. And the hood hinges are now being added with some slow setting glue as we fit everything together. Well, you can see the blackout on the portions of the grill there, and the parts that are left chrome. Of course, the front end piece is painted body color, and then we've got the bumper. We'll add those now. Remember to scrape the chrome off before you try to glue chrome pieces. And here's how the parts look when they're fitted together. It's a pretty good fit, so go ahead and install those pieces into the front at this time. And you can add the headlight lenses either before or after installing them. Once it's in position, it's pretty stable for that. So here are the parts for the back end. You see the taillights. Those will be added to the nacelles and the portion there of the bumper, and use some white glue or clear glue. The exhaust tips, a license plate for the plate area. Just cut the license plate out. Don't make a water slide decal out of it. Just glue it with some white glue to the place where it goes. And also note that the back end has some blackout there just on the end of the trunk. And finally, those big black louvers that were pretty popular with those fastbacks, basically to keep the car from overheating so that you could see out the back window anyway. Now we've got some final accessory pieces to put into place. You see here some hood pins go on the hoods there. There's a spot in the decal for those, and the handles, fender emblems, mirrors, etc., the housings. Those will be added to the vehicle now, and she's looking pretty good. There you have it. Your model is finished, and it's a stunning example of one of the most underrated muscle cars from the era. It had plenty of power and plenty of good looks, but it just never got the recognition that it deserved. So here's what's left over from this kit. It's just decals. You see the big stripes there for the Twister version, and that's it. So let's take a look. Well, there you have it. Your model is finished. It was a great big blacked out hood scoop and excellent looking wheels, stunning colors. It was a real looker back then, and it is now as you build your model. It was direct competition for the big block Malibus and Oldsmobiles. Even the Buick had a couple of competitors there, but it could hold its own against any of those vehicles. And then for the most part, it was actually faster than quite a few of them. It had the 429, which was a formidable powerhouse. And it makes for a really nice and interesting display because it was just not that well known and held up as a muscle car. But if you get one of these nice building kits, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review is brought to you in part by Ryder's Hobby Shops, where the fun begins. Stop in to one of Ryder's 2 convenient Michigan locations where you'll find a full range of the latest hobby products, supplies, parts, tools, and paint. You'll find aisles and aisles of scale model kits, RC models, model rockets, Warhammer gaming, and railroading products. Stop in at Ryder's today and tell them Doug sent you.